Oh no, it's a Saturday live stream. Let me see if I can get my charger wire pulled out of the carpet here. Make sure that the sound is still on since I decided that I would go live today. I don't know how long I'm going to be live for, but I just decided that I was going to go live because, nothing else to do today. And let me go over here and tell people I'm live stream. I am live today. Copy. If I can find it. Yes, I'm live, but I'm not live, but I'm live. Let's see here. I'm just hanging out today. Today is a hangout stream. So they're already calling this soon to be tropical storm Hurricane Milton. So I want to look because we'll see whether it's a hurricane or not. And it is already 14. So we can see this as Tropical Depression 14. And we'll look at where 14 is going. 14 is heading across Florida. So we can see where 14 is going. 14 is going to be a tropical storm as of Sunday. And as of Wednesday, it'll be off the coast of Florida. And as of Thursday, it will be off the coast of Florida on the Atlantic. So that's where I was talking about Florida. So we can see where it is actually headed to. Let me see here if I've got this. I've still got that on speakers. I need that on headset. Ooh, I had that on the wrong thing. I hope y'all are able to hear me better now. So we can see this is where it's going. Let's look here. This is the effects that you're going to have as it comes across Florida. We can see that the deeper colors here are 90% cure for tropical wind force speeds. The inner bands are 80 to 90%. This darker red is 70%. This little brown is 60, 70%. This is 50 to 60%, 40 to 50%, 30 to 40%. This little lighter green here is 20 to 30, then 10 to 20, and then 5 to 10%. So you can see it's going to affect all the way up here into Georgia and South Carolina. At least it is not coming up into the United States, but it is affecting these areas in Alabama, Georgia, South Carolina, and North Carolina, as well as over here into areas that were already affected, which is not a good thing. So, yeah, that's not a good thing. We can see where it's at here. So that's what's up with that. And let's look at our windy again. And I'm probably live and talking to myself right now, which is fine because this will be looked back on later by somebody or someone's, and they will see this. And we're watching this storm here, which is going to be a hurricane as it hits Florida. And put out a video this morning about it so we can see that this is going to hit this area of Florida. It is going to affect from Alabama coastline all down through Florida and off. So it's going to affect these areas up through North Carolina as well. You can see all the clouds here. So Wednesday it will be off the coast here. Thursday it will be here. So this is to be kept an eye on. And if you didn't see that, we'll look again at this. This is now Tropical Depression 14, which is right here, which is making a beeline towards Florida. We can see the track again. This is the track for this. Tropical storm, hurricane, hurricane, hurricane. Right here, 7 a.m. Wednesday, it will be off the coast of Florida. 7 a.m. Thursday, it'll be off the coast of Florida on the other side in the Atlantic. So it is a fast moving system, but it will be a hurricane all across Florida. So you guys on the eastern coast of Florida, y'all need to be prepared for this as well. I changed the title of the video to Weather, Earthquakes, News, Whatever. So it's about whatever. So if y'all heard about my last 2 weeks, my daughter is up in Boone, North Carolina. That area up there flooded. Her college flooded. No in, no out. And I've been a worried mama, worrying about my daughter stuck up there. They've canceled all college classes until after the 15th, so I don't know if they're going to re-cancel again, because at first they were canceled until the 5th, and then they canceled until the 15th. So I don't know if they're going to cancel them again or not. And I've talked to her. To me, she sounded like she was a bit depressed. And yeah, I'm worrying. I'm a worried mama. I think the bells are on. I haven't heard them ding ding, so I don't know if they're ding 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 in or ding in. Ding 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 ding. I know my headset's on. It's working unless it died. Let me check the sound here. I haven't heard the. Yep, my headset's working. Uh, Well, anyway, I'm over here talking to myself. You know, it's more fun to be talking to myself. I like talking to myself. I just don't like answering myself because answering myself can get kind of boring. Let's see here. YouTube is holding me back again. Let's go over here and do this community video live stream. There. Probably somebody else is live and everybody's on their channel. But for some reason, YouTube isn't showing that I have a picture for my live stream. I don't know why, but they're not showing my picture. That's cute. Thanks, YouTube. I just posted it somewhere and there's no picture. Hey, YouTube, I need a picture. I have no picture for my YouTube. This is my Saturday live stream. It's about whatever. I know I put a picture on there. It shows it. Okay, so it's public. Maybe I should start complaining about YouTube. Hey, YouTube, why are you doing this to my channel? Why are you keeping people from viewing my channel? Maybe I should turn off all ads and then people won't get to see it. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to turn off anything. There you go. There you go. Now I'm going to punish you. Ha! Oh, the weather just changed. It just dipped. My ears are ringing. So what's new? Let's see here. Is there any new news in the world? There's a huge storm threatening Miami and Tampa. Major tropical depression 14 is formed and posing a major threat to Florida. Tropical depression 14 is formed in the Gulf of Mexico and now poses a major hurricane threat to Florida just over the weekend after Helene pushed through the region. In their first advisory on the new system, the National Hurricane Center said that there is an increasing risk of life-threatening storm surge and wind impacts for portions of the west coast of Florida Peninsula beginning late Tuesday or Wednesday. Hurricane and storm surge watches will likely be required for portions of Florida on Sunday. So the new depression is expected to intensify this weekend and could rapidly intensify into the week ahead. The next name on the list is Milton. The storm is likely to pass well south of Florida's Big Bend and is not expected to bring as much surge as Helene brought. That said, some areas that saw storm surge from Helene could well see some storm surge from this system, especially the Pinellas County to Naples. There is an outside shot that the storm surge could be higher than Helene brought in the location or two, particularly further south. If y'all are listening, it's time to be prepared. It's not time to stick around and say, oh, it might not happen. It's time to be prepared and be out of there. If you heard what was just said, it could bring higher storm surge. There's potential for flooding, and rainfall is expected to arrive well in advance of the storm's arrival due to a frontal boundary sagging into the region. Several different bursts of rainfall can be expected in Florida as soon as Sunday. With the system itself, rainfall in Florida in one impact you can expect to see over the next week, and it could lead to flooding in some spots. Much of the peninsula could see 3 inches of rain, but some spots could see closer to a foot of rainfall. The heaviest rain is expected to arrive by Tuesday or Wednesday on the Florida peninsula. Most of the new computer guidance suggests that it will be a Category 2 or 3 hurricane that could develop. The system has a potential to bring damaging winds to the west central or southwest Florida coast Tuesday night or on Wednesday, but exactly where those winds will occur and how strong they will be will remain a question. Any hurricane preparations or recovery and rebuilding efforts should be finished by Tuesday evening. After that time, those efforts could be dangerous. How much damage occurs depends on how strong the system gets. While water temperatures are plenty warm for development, wind shear over the northern coast of Mexico could be one obstacle to the development of the tropical depression. Wind shear could limit how fast this storm develops. Well, if we saw by looking at windy how fast it's moving, I don't think that that's likely. Along the Gulf Coast, the rip currents threat could develop by early week from Tampa southward. The Western Caribbean and Gulf are typical areas of tropical development in October. So when we were looking at how fast the storm was moving, that is something to keep an eye on. I'm going to show y'all windy again, and you'll see how fast the storm is actually developing and how fast it's moving. So when they were talking about it could be slow, this is it right here. And you'll notice by Wednesday, it is right off the coast. That's how fast it's moving. Today is Saturday, okay? Usually it would take a good week to get across. And we're saying Saturday. So it's Saturday afternoon right now, okay? And it's just right here. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. That's only 4 days. And it usually takes longer than that to get across here. So let's look how fast this is moving. Okay? That's why it's time to be prepared and know where you're going. If it's bringing higher storm surge, you need to be out of wherever you're going to be at. So look at this thing. This is going to be a Category 2, Category 3 hurricane. Look how fast it's moving. It's not slowing down. And it's still a hurricane as it crosses across Florida and into the other side. So it's time to be prepared and to know where you're going to go and what you're going to do. And Miami has put out saying that an alarming change in the forecast now shows potential for dangerous hurricane to strike the west coast of Florida later in the week with damaging winds, life-threatening storm surge, and torrential rain. They have designated tropical depression 14 on Saturday morning by the National Hurricane Center and is expecting it to rapidly intensify into a hurricane by early to middle of next week, reaching Florida by Wednesday. The forecast with TD14 has evolved quite a bit in the last 24 hours, showing greater potential to be a more significant storm. They're saying that they know that it's going to happen pretty quickly and that the odds are significantly higher than they were Friday, that it will be a memorable, impactful storm that will hit Florida in the days ahead. Tropical Depression 14 is about 240 miles northeast of Veracruz, Mexico. It has peak winds of 35 miles an hour and is moving northeast at 3 miles per hour. TD14 is forecast to pick up speed early next week and turn to east-northeast across the central and eastern Gulf of Mexico, reaching hurricane strength on Monday, with rapid strengthening likely during the early part of the week, according to NHC. Once it reaches tropical storm strength, it'll take the name Milton. The GFS model and European model has significant storm offshore Florida on Wednesday. How significant is that it could be a hurricane, and the models say hurricane. They could be a category 2, category 3. Everywhere on the peninsula of Florida, they're looking for potential or significant rainfall starting Sunday and continuing into the week. Forecast models show the heaviest rainfall is expected to be from the Interstate 4 corridor and southward, where a widespread area could see 5 to 8 inches of rainfall over the next week, with some areas nearing a foot of rain. And that is to be repeated again, a foot of rain. Because much of the rain will be spread out over several days, widespread flooding is not anticipated, but where thunderstorms repeatedly move over the same region, issues could arise. The expected impacted region is farther south from where Hurricane Helene made landfall, so the hardest hit areas of the Big Bend will not receive as much rainfall as locations such as Fort Myers, Orlando, Tampa, and Miami. In addition to rainfall, rough seas will lead to a threat of increased rip currents and erosion along beaches, and a pattern that will continue well into the week. The waters of the Caribbean Sea and Gulf remain plenty warm for development, and October is typically a month with the most landfalls in South Florida. According to NOAA historical data, more than 60% of landfalls in the region occur after climatological peak of the hurricane season, which is September 10th. The latest date a hurricane has ever hit the Sunshine State is November 21st, when Hurricane Kate slammed into Florida Panhandle in 1985. The National Hurricane Center continues to monitor Hurricane Kirk in the central Atlantic and Hurricane Leslie in the eastern Atlantic, but neither pose a direct threat to any land masses over the next week. There's also a new disturbance off the coast of Africa that is being tracked. I didn't see that one, so let's look. I don't see one there. So I'm guessing that that's a new one that is not yet on NOAA. And hello to anybody who's here. Feel free to chat in the chat room. Hello to everybody who's here. Feel free to chat in the chat room. I have just updated about the potential hurricane which will be coming to Florida. Feel free to rewind and watch the update that I have done. I just updated about the potential hurricane that is going to hit Florida by Wednesday, going into Thursday. And I don't know if YouTube is kicking people off of my YouTube channel or if people can't hear me when I'm talking. Hello. I think people are being kicked off my YouTube channel. That's not nice. I see people in and people out and people in and people out. That's YouTube, eh? So if you haven't seen it, I just did a long update on what's going on with the hurricane that's going to be hitting Florida coming Wednesday. So you'll have to back up. I just did a 10-minute update on the hurricane that's going to be hitting Florida. Today is just my hangout and talk, and we just did the update. And if y'all miss me, I hope y'all miss me. Hi, Sean Anderson. How are you doing? Nice to see you. I'm looking for more information. I was worrying, so I've been keeping an eye on the Gulf of Mexico because my daughter is in Western North Carolina, and she's in Boone area, and she got hit by the last hurricane, and her whole area that she's at college, her whole area got flooded. And I'm thanking God that her apartment didn't get flooded, but her college did. And They're out of college now until the 15th. They were out till the 5th, and then we're told they're out till the 15th, and there's no in, no out, so they can't leave. And me being I'm a nervous mama, and then I'm going through trying to get my car fixed because I want to go up there and go see her, but I can't leave because I can't drive the car because I got to get the front end fixed. So I did a fundraiser and I put that up because I'm like want to go see her. And it just got so much going on anyway. Um, so yeah, that's life. So what else is new? Let's see. If there's any more new news for today. Here's a article on Boone today. Mother Nature took back her mountain surviving Helene and Boone. After extreme flooding, Boone and State, which is Appalachian State University, faced sinkholes, landslides, destroyed houses and roads, and challenge to to recovery. Outside of Asheville, Boone is one of the largest population centers in western North Carolina. It's a major tourist destination and educational hub. Folks in Boone and around Watauga County are pulling together to assess and mitigate the damage caused by landslides and extreme flooding in the wake of Tropical Storm Helene, which was Hurricane Helene. Appalachian State University, commonly known as App State, is the heart of Boone. Campus is largely evacuated and classes are suspended for the time being. Boone Creek, which runs through campus, caused extensive flooding on campus during the storm. Classrooms and major campus buildings sustained serious damage. Sinkholes, collapsed roads, and damaged homes are among the chief concerns in the city itself. There are at least two mobile home parks that were largely destroyed. Taking care of the country's homeless population, which was substantial before and has now expanded, is a major focus for relief efforts. The western part of the county is more remote, and many in Boone have expressed concern for those who help has not reached yet. Two fatalities confirmed in Watauga County as a result of landslides caused by Tropical Storm Helene. Boone got hit hard on the first day. Moss Brennan, editor of Watauga Democrat and member of Watauga Rescue Squad, told CPP. Once the rain stopped, though, the water receded pretty quick. The western part of our county, as well as Ashe and Avery counties, got hit really hard. The more rural areas have massive trees down in low-lying areas. There's just destruction. There are houses that look like bombs have been dropped on them. They're completely gone, destroyed. In Boone itself, there are roads that have collapsed. All the tourism officials are saying don't come to Boone just because it looks okay. That doesn't mean it is. The more people who are in Boone, the harder it's going to be for emergency officials to help people on the western side of the county. A sinkhole opened up under the historic Legends building in downtown Boone that served as the students' nightclub until fall 2023, when it's deemed unsafe due to structural issues. Officials have since filled the hole with gravel. The North Carolina State Board of Elections has said the November election will proceed in Watauga County. State officials are evaluating the condition of voting sites and voting hardware like laptops and tabulators. They have reestablished a secure connection to the state information system despite wide internet and cell phone outages, allowing them to process registrations and requests for absentee ballots. Appalachian State, with an undergraduate enrollment of more than 21,000, App State has a bigger population than Boone itself. The main part of campus is a low-lying valley area and was badly damaged by floodwaters from Helene, and that's where my daughter goes to college. Residence halls appeared to sustain little damage, while classrooms and campus roads bore the brunt of it. We have professors and students who are homeless. App State professor Lynette Holman told CPP, logistically, it's going to be a nightmare to figure out what to what to do to have everybody finish the semester. The university is closed at least through October 16th. The professors suspect that some of those classes will only continue virtually. Most students left for home in the days following the storm. Bringing back students fully in person would be an enormous strain on the town's stretched resources, Holloman said. App State's dining hall has remained open and is feeding the community at no charge. The Red Cross has turned the Convocation Center into pet-friendly emergency shelter. According to a student at Caldwell Community College and Technical Institute's branch in Boone, the Red Cross has so many volunteers early in the week that they had to start training new volunteers, turning new volunteers away. And I think my daughter's volunteering. In the last few days, amidst terrible devastation, we have seen tremendous acts of kindness and humanity, App State Interim Chancellor Heather Norris said in a press briefing on Tuesday. This has been a disaster of monumental proportions. Some have lost everything. According to Electricities, a member organization of public power communities, power has been restored to over 99% of App State's New River, light, and power services areas. Homelessness in Boone. Western NC has one of the highest rates of unsheltered homeless families in rural America. Now more than 140 housing units have been condemned in Boone due to Tropical Storm Helene. The housing issue was already a disaster anyway, Holman said. It is so difficult and rents are so expensive, and this area has pretty high poverty rate. Figuring out how to keep Western North Carolina's homeless population safe in the devastation of Helene is the work of organizations like Hospitality House, a housing agency and service provider of homeless individuals and families across 7 counties in North Carolina's high country. The organization's headquarters is in Boone. We're sending our outreach staff out to displaced households and neighborhoods to deliver food. Medical providers have been driving with them. Hospitality House Development Director Todd Carter told CBP. We're feeding people around the clock. We have a food pantry that's open 7 days a week. We're giving out care boxes and food boxes to any and everyone that shows up. Once the Red Cross is gone, once Samaritan's Purse is gone, once the outside relief organizations have left, we'll still be going to be there. We are in it for the long haul. Carter says it's impossible to know yet how many individuals will become homeless in the wake of Helene. Ongoing challenges. Some people in remote parts of the county have not yet been reached by emergency crews. Teams began traveling Wednesday on horseback to aid with recovery in areas that have not been able to be accessed so far. The storm exceeded all forecasts, Watauga County Emergency Services Director Will Holt said in a Tuesday press briefing on the county's recovery steps. Conditions combined to bring the worst natural disasters in modern history to our county. Mountains simply gave way under the height weight of wind and rain. Mother Nature took back her mountains, leaving scars where roads and homes once stood. We deeply grieve the loss of life and livelihood, not just in Watauga County, but through the high country as our neighbors in Ashe and Avery County, Southwest Virginia, and Eastern Tennessee come to grips with what is now our new normal for the foreseeable future. Watauga County Emergency Services typically takes around 3,000 calls a month. On the first day of storm conditions, 911 took more than 2,000 calls. Brennan says he's personally been on 11 swiftwater rescues involving people and animals. So that was a little bit about Boone, Ashe, and Avery County. Since some of the areas aren't being covered enough. Anyway, you guys, I said it was going to be a short update. Now, if y'all would like to help, I have a fundraiser, and I'm going to link it below the video. And this is to help me. I um, put this fundraiser up because of the fact that I need help, and I'll let you read it. As y'all know, I bought a car from someone who was not very honest with me, and I took out financing and paid off the last bit of my cash to actually fix wires and radiator and fans, and then found out afterwards that I need to fix the, what was it called? The, I know I got a paper here somewhere. Oh, there it is. Front hub bearing assembly, wheel bearing, front hub and bearing from both sides to make the car safe to drive. And I want to go up and visit my daughter in Boone, but I can't drive to go and visit her, or don't want to be driving the car too much with the hubs bad. So I need to get that fixed. So I'm asking for help. If you can help me, I would appreciate it. If you can't, please don't. But if you can, please do and share it around. It'll help me out. And where are my mods at today? I don't see any of them. I don't see any of them anywhere. They're all missing. They're all MIA. Probably something more interesting is going on. Has to be. There's one live viewer. That's me, right? I'm the live viewer. Should I start singing? I don't know why this keeps resetting itself. It keeps resetting itself back up to there. So what am I looking at? Well, we should expect an earthquake down here. Don't see anything here so far. Looks like we've had an earthquake over here. So we'll be looking for some here. It looks quiet up here. So we should expect to see some quakes here and here and here. Fill in the blanks here and here. Well, and here and here and here. Maybe see one here. Let's look down here. We're going to expect to see some down here too. Let's look at EMSC. Gulf of California had a 4.0, so that's going to push up to California as a 4.0. This says there was a 5.4 Cook Strait, New Zealand, so let's look at GeoNet. An hour ago, 5.7 Cook Strait. That's about normal. Because it was a 5.0 off the September 17th. There was a 5.0 off the end of New Zealand. There was a 4.7 on September 10th. And there was a 5.7 today in the middle of New Zealand, so I'd say that's ended. Doubt they'd be looking for another one. That should be it. I'll show you what I'm looking at. I'm looking here. You have the 5.0 here, the 4.7 there, the 5.7 here. Let's see this. Unless that one's bigger. Nope. So there was a 4.7 there, 5.7 there, 5.0 there. Ooh, there was a 3.8 offshore Northern California. It was 25 kilometers deep. Let's pull up Google Earth. Interesting. That's the Mendocino Fault. That's the Cascadia subduction zone. This one was 25 kilometers deep, so slightly deep. So this one was 45 kilometers southwest of Fortuna. Humboldt Redwood State National Park. Maybe we can see a redwood. Cool. That's like one of the firehouses, I think. What else we got? Let's see where that Gulf of California earthquake was located. That one was a 4.0. Well, maybe not. Okay, so this one happened back here, so we're probably looking at activity around here. Because this is the North American Pacific Transform boundary. This should be divergent. That's the oceanic spreading rift. Spreading ridges. This is a seamount. So since it's further back this area, we should expect to see some 4.0 activity up in here. Then you see 4.0 activity here. You'll see 4.0 activity here. Fox Islands, Aleutian Islands had a 5.1. This is back towards that same area because this is Akutan here again. So this area has been getting quite a bit of earthquakes because there's that 5.2 I listed there. So this area has been getting quite a bit of earthquakes here. That's Akutan volcano. And that's subduction zone. And that's the North American Pacific convergent boundary there. Let's see what's gone on Oregon Live earthquake map. So I want to look at this side. This is in Georgia. There was a 2.2 in Ringgold, Georgia. So let's go look up Ringgold, Georgia. Wait, I'm doing the wrong one. Duh. Let's go here. Let's see what could be there. Is it fracking? Is it a mine? Is it... What do we got here? We're out in the woods. What's that? It's a building. What do we got over here? Why do we have a star? What the heck? What is that? A baseball field. Poplar Springs Complex. It's a star. Okay, that's weird. I'm sorry. It's a star with all the corners chopped off. Alrighty then. Okay. Rollins Industrial Boulevard, Ringgold, Georgia. Okay then. That's the earthquake there. But this has got some bad views here. Let me see here. Close that out. This looks like railroad tracks here. I don't know why it sticks up so high. Can't view this though. This is like totally closed off here. Like totally. Like when you go to look at it, it's all blurry. Wonder what I can shut off to be able to look at that. It like cuts it off. Okay, hang on. Let me reopen it. Maybe that'll help. Nope, it didn't help. They don't want you to see something here. Weird. Rocky face. Chickamauga. But there's something there they don't want you to see. Alrighty then. What else we got? Let me pull it up. Maybe I got a different location on here. Georgia. It was 15 hours and 15 hours and 55 minutes ago. It was a 2.2. So let's do it this way. Because that one was from USGS. This one is from EMSC. This is a little closer to the blurry line. Happy Feet International. I still can't get over the star. All right. Hmm. The things you see. Oh, there was just a 2.0 in southeastern Missouri. So let's see where this was located. This just happened 9 minutes ago. So that's New Madrid area. What was that? Oh, baseball billboard. The Mississippi River goes through here. This is some town of New Madrid here. So we're having earthquakes in the New Madrid area. Oh, hello, George Mitchell. Hello, 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 Richard Smith. I did not see you guys there. I know y'all probably missed all of my updates. I just been sitting over here going over earthquakes, and then I was reading, about the finance terms I had for my car, and quietly to myself. Sorry, I got caught up doing something else besides looking at the chat, because, oh my God. Do you guys know that when you fill out finance stuff, they like charge you double? And then you got like 90 days to try to pay it off so that you don't have to pay double? Oh, that's so crazy, right? It's crazy. Oh, so I put out a fundraiser. I guess you guys probably don't know, but I did a fundraiser today for the last bit of stuff for my car. So I'll stuff that into chat and y'all can look at it. Yeah, I did a fundraiser. Um, so I'll fill you guys in since you're in chat. As y'all probably know, somebody hit and ran my car, and I was out somewhere, came back, and was driving home, and my car was making a god awful noise. And I got home, and I came inside because I thought maybe it was a tire. And so I went out the next morning to look at my car and found that my car had been hit, that from one end to the other, it was hit from the bumper to the front. So anyway, I ended up calling my insurance company, and I thought that they were just going to repair the side of the car. I didn't think it was too major. I just thought it was cosmetic and that they fix it and I'd be back on my way, right? No, they totaled my vehicle out. So it was hit and run. I didn't see who did it and don't know who did it, and hopefully they catch them. But anyway, Mike totaled my vehicle. They did not give me enough to buy another car. So I've spent a few days looking for another vehicle, trying to find something good. And I bought a car from a girl that I thought I could trust. She's a military wife. And as far as I can tell now, she basically lied to me. She told me that the only thing that was wrong was the thermostat. They took the car and fixed the thermostat, and I bought the car from them. The next day, I drove the car from my house to the DMV, did all the paperwork, no problems, drove the car back to my area, went to the post office, went to Walgreens to pick up my son's medicine, and the check engine light came on. And I was pissed. And from there, I took the car and went to Advance Auto, had them run a scan on the vehicle. And while the lady was running the scan, the car started overheating. And I started messaging this lady, and I'm like, what in the hell is wrong with this car? I'm like texting her and asking her, did you not fix this car? Did you not fix the thermostat? What is wrong with this car? Right? What did you not tell me? And she was like, I told you everything I knew about the car, da 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 da. And I'm sitting here thinking, this lady's lied to me. This lady has not told me the truth. And so anyway, I got a hold of Black's Tire. I went to Black's Tire and they told me that the fan pigtails were burned, that the radiator was, well, that was second. The fan pigtails were burned and the fans were not working, right? So the car stayed with them overnight while they fixed that. And then the guy called me the next morning and he told me I got the fans working. He said the fans new, the stuff is new. He said, however, your radiator is clogged and you're going to have another radiator. He said we can't unclog it. And so therefore, I ended up having to get a radiator. Well, I paid for the radiator, right? So I used up everything that was on my ASEMA. That was $1,400 plus $274. So I ended up broke. And after I went back up to pick up the car, and they were really nice with me. They brought me home and picked me up from Black's Tire. I found out that I was going to need to have the wheel bearings replaced, front hub and bearing on both sides in the front. And the total cost for that is going to be $721.61. what I don't have. Now, I knew the car was a little bit loud. The lady told me that that was normal and that was what that car sounded like. Okay? Obviously, that's not normal. And that's not what that car sounds like. She was trying to tell me because it's a Chevy crossover, that's a normal sound for that car. Gee, I'm stupid because I don't know that that's not what that car sounds like. Okay, so yeah, I'm dumb. That's, I thought that that was what it sounded like because, so it is truck hybrid between truck and car. So dumb me. So anyway, everything else on the car is good. I just have to get that fixed. So, yeah, I've done a fundraiser because that car is not safe for me to be driving. Uh, well, I've checked with my sister, and my sister's truck sounds like a truck. So, she's not much help there. So anyway, and then yeah, my as I've told you guys, my daughter's up in Boone. I did a update about Boone a little bit back in the update in the video, so that y'all would know what's going on in Boone. They are still going through a whole lot going out there. Um, there are certain areas that are telling people not to bring in any more supplies over the weekend until they're able to go through what they have and are able to figure out what they actually need for certain areas. I know, right, Richard? If I could go on post, I'd be locking grids with her. Trust me, her conversations with me, she dropped out quick on conversation when I came back and told her, so you knew what was wrong with this car, huh? Because her little thing to me was, well, I wouldn't have listed as low as I did if there wasn't a problem with the car. I would have listed at 3,500. I'm sitting there thinking that isn't even blue book value. That's more than blue book value. But anyway, um, so I came back at her with so you knew that there was a problem with the car, huh? And she didn't even come back with a comment. Okay, here's the thing, in North Carolina, if you know that there's a problem with a car, you have to say that there's a problem with the car and you have to disclose it. You can't just say that there's nothing wrong. So guess what? I'm potentially, after I fix this and get this done, I'm potentially considering going to her commander and taking all of the paperwork of having the car fixed, putting it on her husband's commander's desk and saying, guess what? Your husband's wife and husband, because he was there, have a little bit of explaining to do and maybe a little bit of paying up to do. But if I can't finish fixing the car, I can't do that. So I don't know what else to do. And then also in North Carolina, I have to prove that she knew. And the only thing I've got is text messages from her where she keeps doing the deny thing. Deny, 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 deny. Here's the thing with me, and I guess it's me. If I sold somebody a car, I'd be like, there's this wrong, this wrong, this wrong, this wrong, this wrong. And oh, yeah, there might be that wrong too. And you know what? You also have to write a bill of sale. And she didn't write me a bill of sale saying as it is either. All she did was do a title. So I feel like I've been put through the ringer. And let me tell you guys, I've gone through so much this last week. Lost, weighed myself again today. I have lost 12 pounds. Oh, I'm keeping all of my receipts. I have lost 12 pounds. I have not wanted to eat. I have not felt good. I have been stressed out. I am more than upset. But let me see. I'll show y'all some pictures of the car. The car's cute. Other than other than other than going through this stuff. Oh, and she lied to me about something else too. She told me that this car only had three owners that she knew of, her dad, and her, and one other person, I guess her brother. Well, I pulled up Carfax on this car yesterday, and this car has had 6 prior owners. I wonder why. 6, 6 owners. I wish I'd had the what do you call it beforehand? The Carfax on it. Let me see, where's my pictures? My pictures are missing. Oh, well, I'll show you all this one. I don't know where this is at, though. Here, this is what it looks like. Not my license plate, so I'm not worried about that. I don't know where it's parked at. I mean, it's worth fixing, but that's on post somewhere, so. Yeah, so I asked Advance Auto, I said, is that the normal sound for that car? Does it supposed to sound like that so that I know for sure? And the guy looks at me and he goes, that? He goes, no. He goes, that's your drums or your hubs. And I was like, what? And he goes, yeah, that's your hubs. He goes, your car starts off he sounds quiet, and he goes up, and I'm like, yeah. He goes, ooh, yeah, that's my car. Yeah, well, on post they have apartments too, so those are apartments. I'm gonna tell you what. You better hope I don't see her again. Sneaky is a sneaky does. You know what? Karma is a big B. And when you do people dirty, it comes back, 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 back. Yeah, Fort Bragg is nice, or Fort Liberty now, but Fort Liberty is a nice place. Um, but here's the thing. Most of the time you get cars from military people, and most of them are pretty honest. So that's one of the reasons why I bought it from a military person. I thought that I could trust them because most military people, when they sell you something, they're not going to lie to you. They know that they do shady stuff. They're going to get in trouble with their unit. But obviously, they're young and they don't know better. And they're going to know better by the time I'm done with them. I spent 25 years as a military wife. 25 years. And my husband was an E6. Actually, he retired as an E8. So, yeah, don't mess around in the military. That's why I said I look up to and respect military people because most of the time they're honest, they're hardworking, and they're not out to do things like that. And if you're in the military and you're doing things like that, that's how you're taking care of and treating people. then how are you taking care of and treating the people that you're working with? That's called you can't trust the people that you're working with if they do stuff like that. I've got this little thing. The way you treat people in front of you is the way you should treat them behind their back. It's called integrity. Or how you act in front of people is the way you should act behind their back. But then again, I'm starting to notice the younger generation, they don't have so much integrity anymore. They need to have more pride in themselves. I was thinking about a rental car, but the problem with rental cars, if you buy from a rental agency, they want to charge you as much as a rental car per day, per month to buy a rental car. I did look into that. And I'll tell you, the insurance company only gave me $2,196 to buy a car. And the rest of the money that I put into buying this car came out of my pocket. Well, I was a military wife in the Army. I almost joined the military when I was younger. I would have gotten into the military, except I got pregnant. And that was before deciding that I was going to join the military. And then I almost joined the military again when I was 24, but instead I decided to get married. That's funny, right? And then instead of joining the military, I decided to go to college. You did a year in the Canadian military cadets. Did you enjoy it? You can still do drill sergeant? That's awesome. When you get out of the military, do you still get the rank that goes? You still get your rank like one step up in rank? Because I know that when you retire as an E6, you become E7. Military was fun. Hmm. These day and age, they all have those little cards that says, "I'm wimpy. I can't do it anymore. No more running. Don't pick on me. I might cry. You just got on my nerves. God help me." I hope those people in Florida are getting prepared for this hurricane that's coming, because it's going to be a Cat 2, Cat 3. Ah, your father retired too? You were a basic rank? That's a fun rank. I was in Girl Scouts. I know. They don't want to get wet. They don't want to go outside. They don't want to get yelled at. They don't want to do this. They don't want to do that. And God forbid, they don't want to work past 5 either. And don't make them work on the weekends. Remote control storms? You mean HAARP? War never happens on the weekends. Only in the Middle East does it happen on weekends. It happens in Israel, Lebanon, Syria, Ukraine, Russia. For the United States, they got to do a lot of paperwork first. Then it's got to go through Congress. George, no, there's a guy in the storm that is driving it. LOL. Oh my God. I was just thinking about that. Can you imagine that if we had to go to war, that they would have to pull up paperwork to decide if we could actually use a missile? Uh, hey, we need paperwork to decide if we can use a missile. We need to send it to Congress. Oh, okay. Hey, Congress, can we actually use a missile? No, because it might cost $100,000. They pay him with ice cream. I need to laugh. I haven't been laughing. I've been crying. I'm going to tell you what. I got some sleep last night, I guess, for the first time. And I wasn't going to do a live stream, but I'm not doing anything today. So I decided I was just come do a live stream and chat and hang out with you guys. I watched what's his name? Agenda Free TV yesterday, and I was waiting because I thought they were going to talk about uh Israel and Lebanon and Iran, and who pops on? Biden. And what's Biden talking about? Oh, a whole bunch of nonsense. I couldn't even understand what he was talking about. And if anybody hasn't guessed by now, I'm voting Trump, baby. Sorry, I'm in Trump country. And no, I'm not MAGA. I'm just Trump. I'm an independent. Just something wrong with camel toe. Or is it? Sorry, I can't handle the giggle. I don't trust her. I'm sorry. I don't trust her. If you trust her, that's great for you. Y'all know I'm not political, but I made up my mind. There's just something about her that I don't like and I don't trust. And after thinking about it and thinking about the fact that we've had 4 years with her as a vice president and Biden in office, if they were going to make all these changes, they should have been made in the last 4 years. And why are people struggling now? I just listened to my sister tell me that her mortgage on her house was doubled and her insurance was doubled. Okay. I mean, come on. You know, George Mitchell, you have a right to your opinion. And you know what? I hear that from everybody. People don't trust Trump and they don't trust Kamala. But you got to weigh the odds. And I love you anyway. Um, but what I was saying is, if she was going to make a change in this country, I think she would have made it in the last 4 years that she was in office. So why would she make a change in the next 4 years when those changes could have been already made? And that's why I have an issue with her being elected, because I think that those changes could have already been done. She was vice president. And I don't believe that Biden has been in control this whole time either. So I think she's been pushing and pushing her agenda already. So if her agenda was to have made changes, I think those changes could have already been made. And that's my opinion, and I'm sticking to it. You can take Justin Trudeau. We don't want him here, Richard. No, no Justin Trudeau. You know, I've been getting mail for both sides. George, I've been getting mail for Kamala and I've been getting mail for Trump. I wish there was a third one, to be honest. I mean, I was going to vote for, what's his face? Um, I was going to vote for Junior, but he's not going to be running for president because his votes are going to be going to one or the other. We already know that. So what's the point in trying to vote for John F. Kennedy Jr.? There are some others on the ballot, though. I mean, I'll just have to see. But I think I'm voting for Trump. Now, there is a perfect one to write in. You can write in Jesus Christ, and I think that would be a great one. It's about time for him to be in charge. Yeah, that was Bobby's boy. You're right. And if Trump wasn't there, and if I had a choice between Kamala Harris and John F. Kennedy, I would have voted for John F. Kennedy. But he's not on some of the ballots throughout the United States, so therefore, even voting for him is not going to affect the election. Medea. Hey, didn't they make a movie on Medea? I don't. Well, maybe they didn't. You know, the Biltmere Village near famous estate was ravaged by Hurricane Helene. And there's been a record spike in earthquakes near Washington's Mount Adams volcano that's been dormant for thousands of years. This volcano has been deemed a high threat due to its ability to trigger landslides, debris avalanches, and mud flows that can travel up to 50 miles per hour down the slopes and would put thousands of people at risk. The U.S. Geological Survey detected 6 quakes in September measuring 0.9 to 2.0 magnitude, while very weak previous studies have found that swarms of small earthquakes can precede a volcanic eruption. Quakes near Mount Adams typically occur only once every 2 to 3 years, and this is the highest number of earthquakes to occur in a single month, while scientists began recording quakes in the area in 1982. All 6 of the earthquakes were recorded at the seismic station 7 miles southeast of Mount Adams summit, located in the southwest of Gifford, Pinchot National Forest, and at other stations much farther away from the volcano. Scientists with the Cascades Volcano Observatory and Pacific Northwest Seismic Network plan to install a set of temporary seismic stations around Mount Adams to investigate the size, location, and depth of the quakes, according to the USGS. In some cases, earthquakes near volcanoes can trigger eruptions, but this only occurs if a quake is large, greater than magnitude 6, and the volcano is already poised to erupt. When those conditions are met, the quakes can cause dissolved gases to come out of the magma, similarly to a shaken soda bottle, which increases the pressure inside the volcano and may lead to eruption. But 6 quakes were too small to trigger an eruption. The USGS said there's no imminent eruption threat. Therefore, this uptick in seismic activity is not a sign that Mount Adams is set to blow. Mount Adams formed roughly 520,000 years ago. It's located roughly 70 miles northeast of Vancouver, Washington, and Portland, Oregon. So there is nothing except for avalanches, landslides, lahars, and muddy flows of rocks, ash, and ice that surge downstream that people need to worry about right now from Mount Adams. Yeah, I was a Democrat for a long time, and I became an independent. I became independent so I could vote either way, which is easiest to say that I can vote both Democrat and Republican. So if I get a ticket where I like some Democrats and I like some Republicans, I can vote for both. Whereas if you're a Republican, you can only vote Republican Party. If you're Democrat, you can only vote Democrat Party. But if you're an independent, you can vote Democrat and Republican. But I am not voting for my senator or my congressman this year. Neither of those are ones that I would like to vote for. They are both out. O-U-T, out. They have not done enough good for North Carolina. Okay, you guys, I'm going to leave this Earthquake 3D up for a little bit and I will be back. I got to take a break for a few seconds. Hey guys, so I got an update. Guess what? Milton is now Tropical Storm Milton. So Milton has jumped up from being possible tropical storm to Tropical Storm Milton now. And Milton is, yes, still heading for Florida. Milton is going to be Tropical Storm Milton all the way through Monday, 7 a.m., when it will become Hurricane Milton. And Milton will be off of Florida at 7 a.m. Wednesday and in the Atlantic Thursday. So if you are in this area of Florida, I suggest that you get prepared because they are looking at it becoming potentially Cat 2, Cat 3. And we're going to look at Wendy again real quick. So you can see this again, and it is right here at this time, and it is as of 3 o'clock. So we're going to look at it one more time. You can see the eye wall here as it's forming more. This is going to be a big one in the Gulf as it forms. And it will affect the Keys as well. And it is going to affect Georgia, South Carolina, and parts of North Carolina as it goes back out into the Atlantic. So let's take a look at weather radar here. You can see it is down here. Don't have a really good view at this time. This is satellite view. This is satellite view of it right here. It is pretty big. So as it moves, it will move across this way and across Florida. And we can see our other two out here. This is Leslie here. This is the other hurricane here, which we're looking at here. That's Kirk. So this is Kirk here. This is Leslie here. And this is our new one here. And then when we're looking at radar, this is what it looks like down here right now. Not much to see yet. You can see all the lightning out here. This is really interesting to play with. You can see it here. This shows how hot the Gulf is right now. I'm looking for the one for, there we go, hurricane tracker. So you can see the hurricane tracker here. It shows it here. It's going to come through this way. So they're putting it between Cape Coral and Marco Island and across Port St. Lucie. So they're saying Wednesday, 1400, which would be 2 o'clock. So that's the tracker for that. Then let's see the tracker for Kirk. Puts it up here. And that's Southampton here, Brighton. So believe this is the UK or Canterbury. Yeah, UK. Who's this one? You got one over here off the United States. And apparently we have another one over here, which is just forming. And it is not showing up yet. However, it is over here and it is being watched. So we'll have to keep an eye on South Africa for another disturbance, which is now showing up but has not been shown on here yet. Okay, back to earthquakes. I don't know why this is not doing what it usually does, but I'll just keep having to pull that down. Let me restart this because this is saying my firewall is blocking it, so y'all get to see my desktop for a minute. Because I don't have a firewall on. I should look up Yuma AZ right now. You're under extreme temperatures. I'm sorry. I hope it gets cooler there for you. I don't know why my firewall says check firewall, try another feed. Internet connection problem. Problem. I shouldn't be having any problems at all. Let me see my feeds here. Apply. Why am I having a problem? I'm trying to figure out something here. Apparently, I'm having a firewall issue. Okay, let me try this. Oh, I'm gonna have to email Walton. Properties. Hang on, you guys. I don't have anything wrong with it that it shouldn't be working. Wonder which one is having an issue. Hmm. Try another feed? I don't want to try another feed. Okay, guess what I'm gonna do? Huh. Well, let's do that then. I wonder who that's playing off of. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. Well, right now we're just running USGS and active volcanoes. Doesn't that look interesting? So let's add in EMSC. Okay, so let's add in let's add in, I don't want to add in GeoNet. Let's add in Canada. Apply. So I want Canada. It might be Canada. Oh, Canada's on there now. So I got Canada. Okay, I got them all back. So I don't know which one was the problem. Watch out, people. Rebecca's thinking again. I just had to reset them. Oh well. Rebecca's always thinking. Dun 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 dun. The only ones that don't have one there right now is Gionette. Dun 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 dun. I knew that I didn't have the something unset. I knew. Okay, so let's try one more. Um, BGS. Let's see if that one will work. I got BGS. What do I not have? Okay. Let's see if it's Juliet. I get Juliet. Dun 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 dun. And it's fixed. I just had to reset the feeds, that's all. The only one that I didn't reset was Turkey, and I think that might be why. Oh, let's turn off the grid. Don't need the grid on. Yes, I'm sure, George. I got it, George. I know I got it, George. I got it, George. By golly, I got it, George. Okay, I'm going to leave y'all to some quiet time. Hey, I'm going to say it again. If you are in Florida, and I'm going to show you again, if you are in Florida, you need to take this storm, which is forming here in the Gulf, seriously. This is not one to play around with. This storm, which is already a tropical storm, is forecast to be a Cat 2, Cat 3 hurricane. When it hits Florida, it is forecast to bring up to a foot of rain, but higher surge than Helene, which means that you need to move inland or away from the area to protect yourself and your life and your family. This is not one to play with. Please use caution. Okay, I am going to say this one more time. I'm going to show this again. This is our new tropical storm that has formed in the Gulf, and it is moving towards Florida. It is forecast to be a Category 2, Category 3 hurricane when it hits Florida. It is forecast to bring up to 6 to 1 foot of rain, 6 inches to 1 foot of rain. It is forecast to be a Cat 2, Cat 3, and it is forecast to bring storm surge, which is more than Helene brought. If you are in this area Tuesday, Wednesday, you need to be moved away from the coastline. You need to be somewhere else safe. You do not need to be on the coast. You need to be away from that area. Please use caution. I am doing this video early, and I'm just watching what's going on, and I want to make sure that people are prepared. Please watch your local weather. Please do what your local emergency management tells you to do, and please use caution. I uploaded that as a video. Okay, you guys, I have reached over my 2 hour limit and I am going to end my live stream now. I hope you guys have done well. I mean, are doing well. Um, I have just uploaded that warning as a warning. If you would share this video to other people, I would very much appreciate it. I am going to leave the link below the video for my fundraiser. If anybody wants to help out, I would appreciate that. I'm not going to be posting it all over the place. And I'm going to try not to post it too many times. Just, I really need help if you guys can help me out. All right, you guys, I love you, and I'm going to end the video here. And I will be back live on Monday, maybe before then, if there is any big earthquakes. And I love y'all, and I will see you guys Monday, if not before then. All right, you guys, have a great day wherever you are in the world, night or morning or evening, whichever it is for you. I love you. And to my mods, thank you for being here today.